Mob coming for Kyle Rittenhouse. Now some Arizona State University students are demanding the school, quote, protect them from a, quote, violent, bloodthirsty murderer, even though he was acquitted by a court of law on all charges. Here to react, campus reform correspondent and grad student at ASU, Arizona State University, Judah Waxelbaum. Judah, thanks for being here. Look, he's taking classes online. He is not physically on campus. But regardless, why does this very, very tiny group of very loud students feel emboldened to make an insane request like this?
Well, Todd, what we have here are radical leftist clubs such as Students for Socialism and Students for Justice in Palestine, unhappy with the ruling they got in the court of law, so now they're turning to the court of public opinion. It's absolutely ridiculous that after Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted of all charges, they want to strip him of his right to an education. This is un-American, it's undemocratic, and the university has to step in because this is wrong.
Here's the list of demands from the Students for Socialism. Withdraw Kyle Rittenhouse from ASU. Give a statement against white supremacy and racist murderer Kyle Rittenhouse, keeping in mind he shot white people and he was acquitted of murder, so calling him a murderer is actually defamatory. And redirect funding from ASU's police to support the Multicultural Center because, again, no crime ever happens on college campuses. Besides my snarky comments there, do you think any of those socialist students watched 1 second of that trial?
You know, Todd, I don't give much credit to them for following a line of reasoning here. These are the same group of students who chased a United States senator and professor at Arizona State University, Kyrsten Sinema, into a restroom. These are the same students that about a week ago came out with a list of 10 clubs to blackball at Arizona State University to have removed from campus. I'm proudly a member of 3 of those clubs. These students want nothing more than to remove any beliefs or ideas that they disagree with from their campus.
Here's the statement, another one from this group, quote, we as the ASU community, again, kind of like Fauci saying he's science, these folks are saying they are the community, but they don't feel safe knowing that a mass shooter who has expressed violent intentions about protecting property over people is so carelessly allowed to be admitted to the school at all. Again, Judah, putting aside the factual inaccuracies that are rife throughout the statement, when does this end? When does our country push back on this notion that I don't agree with something, so you must lose everything in your life and I'm canceling you?
We're losing our campuses to mob rule at this moment. And this isn't a mob of hundreds, it's mobs of dozens. And it's only possible because faculty allows it to happen. Over at Campus Reform, we reported on how a university in Massachusetts is promoting processing spaces following the Rittenhouse verdict. The universities are openly pushing this situation as a national tragedy, and then they act surprised when this is the result. Since this came out, Arizona State University's only response has been to clarify Mr. Rittenhouse's enrollment status, not to condemn what they're calling for, not what they're asking of the university. Quite frankly, the university hasn't even rejected the notion of denying a student who has done nothing wrong under our court of law the ability to attend our university. It's embarrassing as a student.
If you had any question whether or not our colleges and universities are woke, are leftist, there's your answer. What would our country look like if, I don't know, people like this get their way, not just at ASU, but I'm talking globally, not just in colleges and universities, but throughout society? Because, Judah, to me, it sort of feels like they're getting their way more and more and more, thanks to, I don't know, 4 people there in Congress that have a lot of outsized influence.
What these students are calling for and what the higher ideology they believe in is complete and utter mob rule. The justice system might as well be thrown out with what they're calling for. This is a system of governance where, you know, as the saying goes, it's 2 wolves and a sheep decide what to have for lunch, I believe this as the saying goes. This is a complete court of public opinion trial. They want no basis for facts or reasoning. This is totally, if you don't agree with me, you need to go.
Right.
When they're chasing Kyrsten Sinema into a bathroom, it's everything right of socialism to them has to go. That is where we're heading at if someone doesn't stop this. We have gone from bastions of learning on our college campuses to indoctrination centers, and people need to finally do something about it.
It's important to fight back. Young people like yourself need to be the leaders in that. It's good to see folks like you doing that. Judah Waxelbaum, thanks for being on the program.